For all the new people who are new to our group and new to pre-PT Grind, new to the Facebook Live thing, welcome. We do this pretty much every week, either Wednesday or Thursdays, depending on how our schedule is. And we just chat it up. We just check in with you guys, make sure you're all good, drop some knowledge, and we're out. We don't want to take up too much of your time. We know you guys are on the grind. You're pre-PTs. You got observation hours to do, GREs to study for, work to do, classes to study for, and all that stuff. So we're just in and out here just for a check-in, just to chat it up for a little bit and see what you guys are going through and offer some advice, some wisdom, anything we can really give to you guys. So welcome everybody who's coming back, everybody who's live. Put in Team Live down below in the comments. If you're Team Replay, put Team Replay, hashtag Team Replay in the comments as well. We'll see those when you comment on the replay. So yeah, it's all about who you know. That is the topic for tonight. So tell them about CSM, Joe, since you were talking about we had a great weekend.
Man, okay, so this past weekend, we were, really end of last week into the weekend, we were at CSM, which most of y'all know as the Combined Sections Meeting. And for y'all pre-PTs who have never heard of that, it is pretty much, the biggest gathering, the biggest conference in the field of physical therapy in the United States. And so you got people coming in from all over the country. And so it was an amazing opportunity for us to be able to be there, interacting with other physical therapists, other businesses, other experienced people in the field, newbies in the field, as well as students, individuals that were kind of like trying to get in the game, saying, oh, shoot, like, what's this all about? So that's what we were there for. But the biggest part about it is, and I think we could talk about the classes that were there. We could talk about all the other things that are standard CSM, go-tos. But I think the biggest thing for us was really in the networking. And this is why tonight's title is, it's all about who you know. Because we think we believe that this applies deeply to your journey as pre-PTs. And so for Casey and myself, we realized that there are thousands of people at this conference, and we could very well just go and mingle around with everybody that we can. But the reality of it was, when we kind of took a step back, we realized, that would be good, but we would waste our time. And hear me out when I say this. So by wasting your time, it's the sense that, like, you'll meet somebody and then there's a good likelihood of you really not being able to, build on that relationship unless you have the intentions to do so, unless you have the intentions of, hitting them up on Facebook, Instagram, email, whatever you choose, texting to, keep that relationship going. However, we realize that the flip side, the like doing that in reverse, actually sped up the process of us developing relationships at the CSM, the Combined Sections Meeting. And so how we did that was by developing relationships online, whether on Facebook, on Instagram, on all our other media platforms, whether by pre-PT Grind or, ourselves. We realized that when we met these individuals face to face, it actually, it took the relationship that we had already started to the next level. And so that's where we got the most out of it. And so why are we talking about this tonight? It's because all of y'all are going to be put in a position to where that leverage of who you know becomes a huge advantage. When is that? Application, campus visits, understanding a little bit more about a given program. But face-to-face is actually accelerated. Now, we always say face-to-face is best, which I do agree. I love face-to-face. I think you can learn a lot about an individual when you meet them face-to-face. But when you have already planted the seeds into that relationship, when you've already built, a foundation for how you and other individuals interact already because you've messaged them or you've had phone calls with them prior to, then when you meet in person, it's almost like a reunion. You almost feel like you know the individual, but you actually end up building on it even more. And so that's really what a lot of y'all need to do today. You guys have that advantage. You have the advantage of being able to build relationships before having even met those individuals that you're having those relationships with. Why is that important? It's important because there are a number of you that are listening to this that are saying, hey, I actually have a pretty strong community of pre-PTs, physical therapists, faculty members, individuals around me currently, physically where you currently are. And there are also a number of y'all that we have spoken to that are in locations where you don't really have those individuals around you. So you are now, what was once an advantage to some and a disadvantage to others becomes an even playing field. It becomes an even playing field because you have the opportunity to find the people you need. You don't need everybody. That's the honest truth. Now, I understand that, speaking to anyone who has experience is good, whatever, but you really don't need everybody. You just need to find the right people. You need to find individuals that match up with what you want to do. So if you want to get into a given university, developing relationships with people that go there, developing relationships with faculty members there becomes a good asset to you. If you want to know more about the field of physical therapy, just like the field of physical therapy itself, you want to develop relationships with individuals in there. So you want to use that to your advantage, but don't undermine the power of being able to develop those relationships now before having to meet someone in person. Because chances are, if you meet somebody in person for the first time and you've never had any kind of foundation, it does become a lot more difficult for you to accelerate or to push on that relationship without having to strain it. I mean, I've seen it done where you're able to communicate and text and all that afterwards, but that's a whole lot more rare. So if you guys are on the pre-doctor physical therapy students page or what, you guys have access to so many people there already, which means that going on there, making sure that you start identifying students that have even the ones that just got accepted, saying, shoot, like, what did you do differently? What did you do? How did you get through the doors? How did you get to the point where you went from where you were to being accepted? And once you start that, guys, you are going to realize that those relationships will take you a lot further than you had previously imagined. Casey, what are your thoughts, man?
Yeah, pretty much everything you just said, but on a different spin, just a little bit. It does matter who you know, but a lot of people say they know a lot of people. Like a lot of people could say, like, they know me and you. Oh, I see them on pre-PT chats and pre-PT grind. Oh yeah, I know them. But it's not really about who you know. Well, it is. It is about who you know. But who knows you at the end of the day? Like, who knows you? Because you could be, creeping on the internet and hiding out and being like, yeah, I've seen them before, I know them then. But if you come up to us and you're like, oh yeah, I follow you guys all the time, we'll be nice. We'll say hi and all that stuff. But we won't really know who you are. We don't have an existing relationship already. As opposed to if you just do what Joseph said and reach out now and conversate with all the people in the group and with us when we meet you, you'll be like, oh snap, what's up? Good to see you again. I see all your stuff on social media. Thanks for interacting with us. Thanks for showing us all the love and all that. It's a huge difference with who you know and who knows you. Because a lot of people we saw at CSM or we see at different places, we probably know already from social media, and at the same time, they know us. So since we have, a presence, some sort of a presence, we're working on getting bigger, of course, but they've seen us around. They know what we do. They know what we're about. They know if we're in school, if we're out of school, where we are in the country, what we're doing. So we have talking points already, and we have a pre-established relationship, and it's already a warm relationship. It's not, we don't have to start over. We don't have to start from scratch. We don't have to have an elevator pitch. We don't have to practice because it comes naturally, because not only do we know them, but they know us as well. So that's the same thing that you can use as a pre-PT now with your professors, with the people who want to write you a letter of recommendation, observation hours, all that stuff. Like, okay, just take your class, for example, with your professor. I don't know how many people are in your class. Say it's a big class. Say it's like 50, 100, 200 people. Everybody knows the professor, correct? The professor does not know everybody in the class. They might know the faces. They might know the names. They grade your papers, or they might not even grade your papers.
True.
The reader or the assistant might grade your papers. So they might have no idea who you are. Then, end of the semester comes, you're applying to PT school, you go up to that professor. Hey, I love your class. Can you write me a letter of recommendation? I've been following your stuff. I
Mm.
bought your book. You know, I did all this stuff. Can you write me this? Can you help me
They
that?
don't know who you are.
They don't know
They
you.
got nothing.
They have no idea who you are. As opposed to if you flip it, then get to know them at the beginning, get to talk to them. And you don't even have to bug them. You can talk to them, you know, 3 times, 4 times as the semester go up, ask them a question every so often, every
Boom.
couple weeks. That's all you really need. Now, not only do you know the professor, but the professor knows you out of
Yeah.
200 people, out of
Yeah.
400 if you know, double that per semester. So that's huge.
Mm-hmm.
Huge. Talk about standing out. Who knows you?
Yeah.
Who knows you? It's the same thing for emails, same thing for campus visits, all that stuff. Who do you know and who knows you? Then one more thing. It's yes, all that stuff is good. Like absolutely we need it. You got to know people, people have to know you. But once you know that person, who have you proven yourself to that professor? Have you proven
Wow.
yourself to that employer, to that whoever it is? Because okay, they may
Wow.
know you, and still they know a lot of people. But narrowing that down, making yourself stand out, who have you proven yourself to that person? Because
Yeah.
we know a lot of pre-PTs. If pre-PTs come up to us and ask Joseph is a doctor of physical therapy, if you guys, you know, if that went over your heads. If you guys ask him for a letter of recommendation and you're just some person in the group who's not really interactive and all that, he doesn't, what does he have to go off of? He has no idea who you are. No idea who you are. As opposed to couple more steps. If you do know him, if he's interacted with you a little bit, you know, he's seen you following our stuff. Yes, he knows you now. But at the same time, what does he know about you? Have you proven yourself to him? As opposed to somebody who's been following us, reading all of his blogs, knows everything about him, is in our pre-PT success course, gets on calls with him all the time, invested in themselves and in him. That's a whole different person than the
Mm.
first 2 tiers. There's levels to this stuff, man. Like you know the song.
Mm.
You know, there's
Mm.
levels to the stuff. And even in that situation, you can branch that out to any other situation as well. So yes, it's
Who knows you?
who knows you, and who you've proven yourself to. So it's huge. And Joseph, I'm sure you have a bunch of like those examples because of where you're actually standing
Oh yeah.
in this live stream right now. You've done exactly that. So all of that is huge.
It's
Oh, what's up, Greg Todd? What's up? I don't know if you're still
OG's
on.
live. Yo,
Yeah,
man.
sorry about that. I was just talking and talking.
No,
What's up, Greg?
the thing is like, I think we undermine the value of this one thing. I mean, this is such a simple thing to do, right? But when we're getting pre-PTs saying, hey, you know, like, how do I set myself apart? I've been working on my GPA and stuff like we've done a lot of live streams on how to set yourself apart on this whole journey, right? But there are certain pivotal individuals along the way that become keys to you getting in, not only into PT school, to you getting into the profession and doing it well. Because we all know that once you get your PT degree, sorry, maybe not all, but this might be news to a few of you. Just getting your PT degree does not mean that you are destined to just like kill it in the game, right? All it is a ticket to playing the game of physical therapy. And so we've talked about that before a little bit, but doing all these things where you're aligning yourself with people that you're going to need on your journey. Right now, your journey involves getting into a physical therapy program for most of y'all, right? So finding the right people around you to help you in that transition, right? Not only in the strategy or whatever, but also you as an individual, you as a candidate, right? You have to be intentional about reaching out to people. Don't wait for people to come out to you. Don't wait for people to reach out to you. Reach out to them, right? So if you see somebody, like let's talk about the pre-doctor of physical therapy students page for a second. If y'all see somebody that's always posting, always answering questions, and you realize, shoot, dang, they're still a pre-PT, but they're on it, you better get to know them. If you see somebody that's doing the same thing, you're like, oh, shoot, they're a PT student, get to know them. How do you do that? You send them a message. You say, hey, I'm such and such, been noticing, you know, a lot of your this, that, and like have a question for them, but just start a conversation. Same way you would do if you met somebody face to face for the first time. Just start the conversation. They would be chances are there are not a lot of people doing it. So you already stand out. Isn't that crazy? Out of the
Yeah.
thousands of people there, chances are the majority are not doing it. Why do you think we have to do this live stream? Right? Chances are a lot of people are not doing it. But to do that, it's not just saying, hey, what's up? Just thought I'd reach out. Now you know who I am. Deuces. No, it's doing that consistently, building on that relationship, because Casey's right. It's who knows you. It's who knows you. If you want them to, like, in their mind, know that there's something special about you and they want to invest everything into you, then you better believe you're going to have to build on that relationship for real, right? And then if you ever have the opportunity to meet them in person, even better. But even if you don't, it does not matter. It absolutely does not matter, because you will start building your team. You will start building your team of individuals, from physical therapists to PT students to pre-PTs to faculty members. It absolutely doesn't matter, right? But you have all of these, like, the ability to do that even with schools now online is huge. It's huge. Casey and I didn't really think about this when we were at that point. Now, given the university that we ended up going to was the one we were getting our bachelor's at, but even then we realized that physically we have to do the same thing. Y'all are just doing it online, right? So question is, like, how badly are you interested in getting to that next level of being a physical therapy student? And if you are interested in it, we can't just say all strategy, because that's important. We can't say all, like, you can't get, like, reach out to us and say, hey, I'm just waiting for the application cycle to open up in August or July or whatever, and then that's when I'll kill it. No, it does, like, that's going to be too late. That's going to be too late. Yeah, you might get in, but if you really want to not only get in, but set yourself up for a successful career overall, you're going to have to start getting around the right people. And they're not always going to be local. They're not always going to be within, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes. It doesn't matter. You might have to find them all online, right? Most of the people that I'm connected with today, I found online. Now, got a little help from being part of the Smart Success PT course, but I found most of them online. And I've had, the opportunity to meet them, a lot of them in person. And that has blown, given, like, when we met up, we had developed a relationship so well that when we met up, we felt as though we already knew each other. Like, you shouldn't feel like you're meeting them for the first time.
Exactly. Yeah.
It should feel like a reunion. But if you guys just start doing that one thing, we talk about different things every single week, but if y'all can start doing that one thing, it's a wrap. It really is. Because now, filling in the holes that you guys have, you'll have the right people around you to make sure that those holes are filled. And you'll make sure, and by the time you apply, you have, you never really know what you need until you get to the next level, right? Until you get to, like, when you're in PT school, there's certain things that you'll need to kind of learn that you might not have to worry about right now. But having those people around you really does set you up. Sarah out here spoiling it for people. You know what I'm saying? Spoilers. We got some good stuff coming out for you, but that's it. That's really it. We knew we had to talk about this tonight. You guys have the social media platforms: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and more. Use it to your advantage. Use it to your advantage. I know a lot of y'all use it to ask questions based on what you guys are going through, but even when you don't have questions, use it to find the people that are already doing big things. Use it to find, you can reach out to anybody, but especially those that are active, especially those that are, like, really intentional about not only asking questions, but providing answers and really pushing themselves. Those are the people that you want around you. Those are the people that you want around you. So start today, y'all. If you got some time tonight, go look through some of the posts and say, okay, I want to reach out to that person. I'll send them a message. I could tell y'all names right now, but I don't want to make it awkward for names I miss, right? But we even notice it. Casey, you notice it, right?
Yeah. We knows everything.
Like, we notice the people that are killing it, even on the pre-doc physical therapy students page. So do yourself a favor. Reach out to them. Make sure that you're connected with the right people, because it's going to be a big help to you long term. So that's it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them below. But we wanted to come on tonight, talk about that in light of last week and last weekend's adventures at in New Orleans at CSM. But if you guys do this one thing, you guys will really be setting yourselves up for some great successes. So that's it.
One more thing. Well, if you do have questions, drop them below. But I pinned a post, or I pinned a comment. It should still be pinned here. Let me check real quick. About one of your fellow, it's still pinned. Your fellow pre-PT students. Her name is Farrar. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Guzman or Guzman. She was she is graduating this year,
Far,
but
yeah.
yeah, she's going through some things right now, and she has to defer her acceptance to PT school due to her fight with cancer. So it could be any one of us. Like it could be me, it could be Joseph's. Any one of you watching this live or in the replay, we were all pre-PTs once. That could have been like any one of us. So
Yeah.
let's help support her. I put a link down below to some shirts through Andrew Tran, his company Physio Memes. She also has a GoFundMe as well. So all proceeds from these shirts will go to her and her fight and her recovery and her grind back to PT school and becoming a physical therapist to tell her story with patients. So her full post is in our pre-doctor physical therapy students group. It's one of the top posts. Then we'll also post it out on our pre-PT grind page too.
Yeah.
But check it out. Her full story is there on her GoFundMe and the t-shirt website that Andrew did for her. And yeah, support her, reach out to her, give her some words of encouragement, some love. She needs it all. So yeah, links there, and let's help support our fellow pre-PT.
And when y'all, let's do this for her even. When y'all get your shirts, post them. Post them, and we'll share them. Post them to support, even with the link to everyone else that sees your post, sees you supporting her, so that even individuals that don't know her will join us in this fight to help her beat this thing. And so, thank you guys so much for your love. Thank you guys for everything. It's always a pleasure to serve all of y'all. Let's make it happen. You guys have a phenomenal Thursday. Many blessings.